I made my bully repeat his senior year. I grew up in a working-class town where football was everything. Friday nights, thousands filled the stands. We started playing in backyards before we even hit middle school. And then there was Mike M. the Fourth. Yes, the Fourth. Even his name sounded expensive. He was taller, faster, stronger, one of those kids who seemed built in a lab to make the rest of us feel small. He came from money and never let us forget it. He'd throw our stuff in the creek, call us poor trash, and strut away laughing. I was good, really good, but every track meet ended the same way. Mike first, me second. Every loss stung, but I used it as fuel. When high school came around, we figured he'd stay at his fancy private school. Nope, there he was, in our locker room, wearing the same jersey as us. That's when I learned his secret. Mike wasn't just bigger. He was older. 2 full years older. He'd actually failed 3rd grade. No wonder he looked like a grown man. Freshman year, he made varsity and got a brand new Camaro. He'd rev it in the parking lot just to remind the rest of us who had to walk home. Meanwhile, I was stuck on JV, watching from the sidelines. By sophomore year, I'd grown taller and faster. I became his top receiver. Together, we dominated 13-2, state semifinals, both all-state selections. But something was changing. Mike wasn't towering over anyone anymore. The rest of us were catching up. Junior year, I was ITI. With him, same height, more speed, more power. But Mike was still the same arrogant showboat. He yelled at teammates, blamed others for mistakes, and made everyone miserable. That year, we finished 7-4. For him, that was a disaster. Then our longtime coach retired, and the school brought in a new guy. He wanted to run a modern offensive system built around a mobile quarterback. No more standing in the pocket throwing pretty passes. You had to move, read defenses, make quick decisions. Mike hated it. His family even tried transferring him to another school, but they missed the deadlines. He was stuck. I met with the new coach and told him straight up, I want to compete for QB. He said, the best player plays. That was all I needed to hear. That summer, Mike went off to fancy football camps, trying to impress college scouts. I stayed home and worked. Every day on that same dusty field, running the new playbook with my teammates. We didn't have sponsors or trainers, just sweat, sun, and repetition. When practice started, Mike strolled in like a celebrity. But when coach said, quarterbacks, over here, and I stepped into that group, the look on his face was priceless. He still started week 1. 2-time All-State QB and L, but it didn't last. First game, he fumbled after a sack. Coach benched him. He wasn't hurt, just exposed. Then coach looked at me. You're up. That was my moment. I took the field and never gave the spot back. We went on a 14-game winning streak. Made it all the way to the state finals, and I was named All-State quarterback. Mike, he sat on the bench, watching everything he'd built crumble. His college offers vanished. I'll never forget that feeling standing under those stadium lights, helmet in hand, knowing I'd earned it. After graduation, I accepted a full scholarship to the university, down the road. Played in front of 100,000 fans. Made ESPN highlights. I wasn't NFL bound, but for a kid from a small town, it was everything. Mike, he tried to relive his glory days. His family sent him to a private boarding school in Pennsylvania where there were no age limits. He was almost 20 years old, still in high school, surrounded by kids who saw him as the outsider. From there, he went to a junior college, then walked on at a small university. Never played a single down. Eventually, he came home to run his dad's car dealership. Years later, I built a career in finance. My mentor, an old community leader, had followed my story since high school. He always told me he admired how I never gave up. As for Mike, the dealership went under. His house foreclosed. His family moved away. I don't know where he is now. Maybe life humbled him. Maybe it didn't. But every time I think back to that night I took over as quarterback, I smile. Because I didn't just beat my bully. I made him repeat senior year.